Alright, listen to this for a second. There's this guy, Guillaume Moubeche, and in 2018 he did something wild. He took $1,000, literally just a grand, probably less than what your phone costs, and turned it into a $150 million business. Sounds fake, right? Like, no way someone pulled that off. But not only is it real, the way he did it flips everything you've been told about business upside down. He didn't raise millions or invent some genius world-changing thing. He built a cold email tool and scaled it to $150 million without playing by the usual startup rules. And the craziest part? He shared every step of how he did it. So today, I'm breaking it all down. No fluff, no boring lectures, just the good stuff you can actually use. Let's get into it. So, let me tell you real quick who this guy is. He's this regular dude from France. Back in 2018, Guillaume co-founded a company called Lemlist. I know cold email software doesn't exactly sound like the sexiest thing in the world, but what he did with that boring-sounding tool is actually insane. And he didn't do it the typical tech startup way. He didn't raise millions in funding. He actually did the opposite. He bootstrapped it. He showed people that you don't need perfect ideas. You don't need billionaire investors. You just need to be smart, care about your customers, and not fall for all the startup myths people throw around. That's why his book, The $150 Million Secret, hits so hard. And I'm about to break down exactly what he shares, so you can steal those lessons too. But before that, let's smash some myths. Alright, so let's get into the really juicy part. The 5 biggest myths that Guillaume Moubeche completely shattered. And honestly, when I first read these, I was like, wait, is this for real? Because I used to believe every single one of them. Turns out, it's all nonsense. Okay, let's start with the first big one. This is the one that traps most people before they even begin. You know how everyone says you need $1 million idea to build $1 million business? That's a total lie. Guillaume didn't have some crazy world-changing idea. He didn't invent flying cars or teleportation. He built a cold email software. It's literally a tool that helps people send better outreach emails. That's it. It's the most boring thing on paper, right? But here's the secret. It wasn't about the idea. It was about how he executed it. He focused on making his product actually useful, actually human, actually something people enjoyed using. He wasn't trying to disrupt the world. He just wanted to solve a real problem better than anyone else. It's kind of like opening a pizza shop. You don't need to invent a new pizza, you just need to make one that tastes amazing and treat your customers like gold. And that's exactly what happened with Lemlist. They went deep on solving this one thing. Cold outreach. And they crushed it. Now, the second myth, this one gets people all the time. You need to go big or go home. People think if you're not risking your life savings, working 20 hours a day, sleeping in your car, you're not doing it right. It's this glorified hustle culture nonsense that's everywhere. But Guillaume, total opposite. He didn't bet everything on some huge risky move. He bootstrapped Lemlist carefully. He took it step by step. Think of it like hiking a mountain instead of base jumping off a cliff. When you hike, you take it slow, you enjoy the view, you make sure you don't fall off. And guess what? He still built a $150 million company. So yeah, you don't need to burn your life to the ground to succeed. Okay, now the third myth really hit me because I used to overplan like crazy. You need a detailed 5-year plan from day one. Sounds smart, right? But that's just not how the real world works. Planning is fine, sure, but thinking you can map out every little thing 5 years in advance? Total fantasy. The market changes, people change, your goals might change. Guillaume had to pivot a bunch of times. He adjusted his offers, switched up strategies, adapted to what people actually wanted. It's like using Google Maps on a road trip. You know your destination, but if there's traffic, you take a different road. If you miss an exit, you reroute. That's why Lemlist scaled so fast. They didn't waste time forcing a broken plan to work. Myth number 4. This one's a dream killer for so many people. You need a ton of money to start a business. Like, people seriously think you need to raise hundreds of thousands or find big investors just to begin. Guillaume started Lemlist with $1,000. Instead of waiting for the perfect funding or some magic pile of cash, he focused on selling to real customers immediately. He got money flowing in from day one. It's like starting a taco stand on the street instead of waiting until you can afford a 5-star restaurant. Just sell the tacos now. Get people fed. Make money. Improve as you go. He didn't waste time raising millions before building something people wanted. He got to work. He kept it lean. He made it happen. And finally, the last myth. This one still blows my mind how many people believe it. If you want to go global, you need offices everywhere. Guillaume was like, why? The internet exists. Remote teams exist. You don't need to spend millions opening a fancy New York office just to reach global customers. Lemlist scaled worldwide with remote work, community building, and product-led growth. He didn't need offices in every city. city. He built a movement online. So yeah, all those myths? Total garbage. So if you've ever been sitting there thinking, man, I don't have the right idea, or I don't have enough money to start, just remember, the guy who actually did it is telling you that's all a myth. Now let's talk about how you can actually start using his playbook today, because this is where it gets real. So now you're probably wondering, cool, but how do I actually start building something? Like, what's the first real move? Good news, it's way more simple than you've been told. You don't need some world-changing, perfect business idea. You don't need to sit in your room brainstorming for 6 months waiting for lightning to strike. Forget that. Start with real problems. That's it. Look around your life. What annoys you? What's wasting your time? What sucks that could be better? That's where the best businesses come from. Not from magical ideas, but from fixing stuff that bugs people. That's literally how Lemlist started. Guillaume noticed that sending cold emails, those emails where you try to pitch, connect, sell something, they were awkward, robotic, boring, and nobody replied. And here's the smart part. He didn't just build the full product overnight. He validated the idea early. He asked questions, tested simple versions of the tool, like a scrappy MVP. Nothing fancy. Kind of like baking cookies. You don't open a bakery on day one. You hand out a few cookies, see if people love them, tweak the recipe. Same with business. Test it small. Get feedback. If people lean in, you're onto something. Next, and this is huge, focus on bootstrapping and being revenue first. Forget the whole, I need millions in funding to start lie. Guillaume didn't wait for investors. He started charging customers from day one, even if it was consulting, even if it was small. You know why? Because real revenue beats fake hype. People love to show off shiny vanity metrics, downloads, followers, media buzz, but none of that pays the bills. Traction pays the bills. Real customers, real money, real momentum. So, sell early. Even if your product isn't perfect. Like, imagine trying to open a taco stand but saying, I won't sell tacos until they're Michelin star worthy. No, sell the tacos. Get feedback. Improve. And here's where things get spicy. Build your audience early. Seriously, your network is your net worth. Guillaume wasn't just building a tool. He was building trust. Posting online, sharing lessons, teaching what he learned, even when he was figuring it out himself. Think of it like this. People love to watch the underdog story unfold. If you show them your journey, your fails, your wins, your awkward behind-the-scenes moments, they root for you. They trust you. They buy from you. Guillaume literally documented his whole process publicly, every little milestone. And when you do that, you become the go-to person for your niche. Plus, he used this sneaky smart move called the climbing strategy. Start with small interviews, small podcasts, build your credibility, then you use that to get bigger, better opportunities. It's like climbing stairs. One good intro leads to another, and suddenly you're in the room with big names. Okay, now, super important. Scale smart. Choose your customers wisely. It's tempting to chase big enterprise logos, those flashy corporate deals that sound impressive. But here's the problem. They come with crazy legal headaches, slow decision-making, and honestly, they kill your freedom fast. Guillaume focused on startups and small businesses, customers who matched Lemlist's speed, values, and vision, people who actually cared, gave feedback, grew alongside them. It's better to build with people who vibe with you than to brag about logos that drain your energy. And when you're building your team, culture and transparency win every time. Guillaume hired people who matched his values, not just fancy resumes, real humans who cared about the mission. They created processes that actually worked, and they communicated openly. It's like being part of a band. Everyone knows the set list, everyone plays their part, and you vibe together. That's how you scale without the chaos. And finally, this part's underrated, exit consciously. Don't get blinded by dollar signs. Guillaume could have sold Lemlist for quick cash, but he knew the terms, the valuation games, and how fundraising affects your freedom. He thought long-term. Mission first. Impact first. You ever see someone sell their company, cash out, and then look completely miserable? That's what happens when you exit for the wrong reasons. So grow with purpose. Build something you actually want to run. And when the time's right, you decide if you sell, scale, or stay. That's how you start smart. So now you know how to start the smart way, but let me save you some pain here. Because even the smartest people trip over the same mistakes when they're building something. And if you can avoid these mess-ups, you're already ahead of the game. First mistake? Chasing shiny things instead of real traction. It's so tempting, trust me. You see people flexing on LinkedIn. We raised $5 million. We got featured on TechCrunch, all that stuff. But guess what? Media hype, vanity metrics, raising money, none of that matters if your product sucks or no one's paying you. It's like having a super fancy Instagram feed, but your real life's a mess. Looks good from the outside, but inside, chaos. Next big mistake? Trying to please everyone. This one hits hard. When you're starting, it feels like you have to say yes to every opportunity employee, every customer, every little request. But here's the truth. Trying to make everyone happy just waters down your product and burns you out. Guillaume stayed laser-focused on his tribe. Startups, small businesses, people who actually needed what Lemlist did. Not huge corporations with endless demands or customers who didn't fit the vibe. Another one? Overbuilding before validating. Classic rookie move. You get all hyped, you build this massive, complex product, months of work, and then nobody wants it. Guillaume flipped that. He launched small, scrappy versions, got feedback, adjusted, then scaled. Remember, sell the tacos first, perfect the recipe later. Okay, this one's sneaky, building culture as an afterthought. A lot of people think we'll focus on team culture later once we're big. No, Guillaume made culture the foundation, hiring people who fit the mission, being radically transparent, building trust from day one. If your team's a mess, your business will be too. And here's a final one. Obsessing over exits instead of impact. It's so easy to get starry-eyed. Someone waves a big check in your face. Sell your company, retire on the beach. But if you sell too soon, or for the wrong reasons, you lose control. You lose the mission. You might even regret it. It's kind of like imagine baking a cake, then selling it half-cooked because you're impatient. You get money, sure, but your reputation? Toasted. So yeah, hype doesn't matter. Focus on traction. Don't try to please everyone. Validate before you overbuild. Culture first, always. And play the long game with exits. Avoid those mistakes. You're miles ahead already. Okay, we covered a lot today, but here's the bottom line. You don't need to be some business genius to build something huge. You don't need $1 million idea, investors with fancy suits, or to burn yourself out working 20-hour days. You just need to start smart. That's what Guillaume Moubeche did. That's the $150 million secret. And now you've got that playbook too. So, if this video sparked something in your brain, drop a comment, tell me your biggest takeaway, or even what problem you've been itching to solve. And don't forget to subscribe. It helps more people see this. Now go chase that idea, build smart, and I'll catch you in the next one.